You are listening to the Nichole Banks Podcast, episode 110, The Truth About My Divorce, My Mistakes, and Finding My Purpose. Welcome to the Nichole Banks Podcast, where divorced women heal, grow, and find new love and dare to begin thriving. I'm Nichole, your divorce recovery coach and happy hour queen. If you're a Gen Xer ready to shake things up, level up, and have some fun, you're in the right place. Buckle up. We're getting into today's episode starting now. Well, hello, and Happy New Year. OMG. Literally, can you believe it? 2025, ladies, here we go. So the question is, right? What are you going to do this year? What's going to be different than last year? I love this question for you. I hope you ponder it. Next week, I have got a great show for you, so stick around. I hope you do. Welcome to the Nichole Banks Podcast. Now, if you're new here, welcome, right? And if you've been around for a while, you know that this is a space where we talk about the raw, the real, and sometimes messy journey of healing, rediscovering yourself, and thriving after divorce. Today, I found it deemed very appropriate to go ahead and share something deeply personal with you, my story, why I do this podcast, why I'm here, and why I am so passionate about helping women like you. You know, I have a book coming out. But I personally wanted to talk to you. I want to talk to you and share with you before it is in writing. And I am thrilled. I'm very vulnerable right now. And so emotions come up when I become vulnerable. So I'm sharing this with you. If I can get through this, it's going to be a great day. So we definitely know that navigating life after divorce can feel like you're wandering through some dense fog, right? You don't know which way is forward, and every step feels extremely uncertain. My second divorce was that fog for me. It wasn't just the end of a marriage. It was the shattering of everything I thought I knew about love, about trust, about myself. I loved him deeply. I loved the life that we built together, our blended family, the adventures, the passion. And then it felt like it was in an instant that it all really just unraveled. I realized he no longer wanted me. The rejection was a punch like I had never experienced before, and literally leaving me to grapple with the devastating truth that I wasn't the person he wanted by his side anymore. And that sting, it's something I'll never forget. I'm going to be honest with you. I did not handle it well at first. I let anger and heartbreak take over. I became obsessed with the other woman, critiquing everything about her in my mind as if tearing her down would build me back up somehow. Here is a spoiler alert. It did not. It didn't do that at all. But then clarity hit me like a freaking freight train. My marriage had been a lie, a facade built by someone who was a master manipulator, the charming deceiver with the perfect smile. And trust? Once it's broken, it's really never the same. It really isn't. I wish I could have rose above it all right away. However, I did not. I buried my head in the sand, going through the motions of life while drowning in pain and complete confusion. I stopped taking care of myself. Some days I couldn't even find the strength to shower. I know it's so gross, but it's so true. At the same time, I was grieving the loss of my dad to cancer, watching my mom struggle without him, and trying to be there for my daughter during her senior year. Meanwhile, my husband was elsewhere. It felt like the universe was conspiring against me, like the weight was so heavy. I wore the label of twice divorced like a scarlet letter, convinced I'd never find love again. But here's the thing. Life has a way of forcing you to wake up. My wake-up call was a series of mistakes that landed me in the unthinkable. Facing 54 months behind bars for a financial decision made in desperation. Yeah, sitting in that courtroom, I felt like my life was over. But it wasn't. In fact, it was the beginning of something new. Prison was nothing I ever expected. It was terrifying, it was humbling, and yes, eye-opening. But in that space, I made a choice. I was going to rebuild, not just survive, rebuild. I threw myself into self-improvement, self-development, devoured every book I could, attended every support group, found ways to thrive in the environment designed to break people down. Do you know what kept me going? My daughter. I'd picture her face every day and tell myself, win the day. Just win the day. I found a strange kind of peace in that chaos. And for the first time in a long time, I started to see myself again. The strong, capable woman who had been buried under years of pain and self-doubt. Understand that I truly felt like in the depths of despair. One of the things that I did not do is blame anyone else. I took complete accountability for my own actions. And while there, I did the same. The one thing that you are stripped of absolutely everything in prison, except for your thoughts. And some days it was like a roller coaster, right? Why did I do this? How could I be here? What would my dad think? All the things. What would society think? Is my daughter going to love me? Will my dog remember me? How will I come out of this? How will I face the judgment that awaits me when I get home? I had to change my mindset about everything. See, the circumstance is literally, I'm in prison and it's not going to change. I had to change the thought, which then changed the feeling and changed my action, which gave me results. It all starts with the thought. I ended up gaining more confidence in there on a daily basis by just challenging the negative thoughts. Whether it was something he said I remembered, or something that she had said that I remembered, or, the crime itself, all of the things had turned to one pivotal point of me not asking for help when I needed it the most. When I got out, I made a promise. I was going to turn my pain into purpose. But I also had to learn how to process the emotional healing of the injustice of it all. I have never been in trouble before, and nor since then. I was accountable for my actions and never blamed anyone but myself. After my crime, I was naive in thinking I would be offered second chances and redemption more freely. Instead, I had to learn how to rebuild from the ground up and earn those chances through consistent effort and integrity. I was going to take everything I'd learned, every heartbreak, every mistake, every moment of clarity, and use it to help other women. Because I knew how lonely it could feel. I know what it's like to think you'll never get back up. But here's the truth. You can. You will. That's why I started this podcast, to remind you that you're not alone, to give you tools and hope, and to be the voice in the fog saying, keep going. There's a way through this. There's a way through this. Keep going. Because if I can do it, if I can rebuild my life from the ground up, find love again, and create a life I'm proud of, so can you. Let me tell you, it wasn't a straight line to healing. There were awkward moments, like the time I thought adopting a cat would be my big emotional support plan, only for the cat to immediately ghost me, right? Or when I took up yoga and nearly dislocated a hip trying to find my center. Healing is messy, unpredictable, and at times laughable, but it's worth it. Let's not forget the countless late night ice cream binges while ugly crying to sappy rom-coms. Healing isn't Instagram perfect. It's real, raw, and sometimes involves wearing the same sweatpants for 3 days straight. So here's my ask. Dare to begin. Take that first step, no matter how small, whether it's setting a boundary, saying no for the first time, or simply getting out of bed today. It all matters. And I'll be here cheering you on every step of the way. Thank you for letting me share my story with you today. I promise I go into a lot more detail in the upcoming book. However, if this resonates with you, if you felt even a glimmer of hope, I hope you'll stick around, subscribe, share this podcast with someone who needs it. Let's keep this conversation going. You're not alone, my friend. Until next time, I am Nichole Banks, and this is your reminder to dare to begin. That's a wrap for today's episode. I hope you're feeling as refreshed as a spiked lemonade on a hot day. If you love what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and spread the love. Want to go deeper? Check out my courses, Women's Retreat, and the Dare to Begin membership, where we put everything we've learned into action. NicholeBanks.com. Don't forget, I spell my name with an H. NicholeBanks.com. Until next time, keep leveling up and dare to begin.